XRP founders are selling some of their XRP and people are starting to panic and get worried, and it's causing price suppression on the chart. What I'm here to talk about today is why we should not be worried when certain whales, certain founders, whoever it may be, are taking profits, because it's very typical in the crypto industry. But at the very least, the Ripple XRP team, when they do take their profits, they're doing so in a public level where people can actually see what it is that they're moving, instead of trying to be sly or hide it from the public face. So with that being said, the upside for XRP, with everything happening today, especially the deadline today, Friday, July 25th, from the SEC for the Rex Opera ETF approval, spot XRP ETF approval. We're going to talk about all of this in today's video, so make sure you stay tuned to the end. Now remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to the channel. The overall market is correcting, so I would not be in panic of everything that you're seeing on headlines during red days, because that's when people are trying to suppress the price even more. Mainstream media, social media, whoever it may be. But this is the time we double down as smart investors, as people that are looking at it for the long haul and strong long-term outlook, even through the rest of Q3 and Q4 of 2025. So here's XRP, down about 4.1% on the day. We're sitting at $3.09, and people are starting to worry. Oh my goodness, it's going down. Guys, when in doubt, zoom out. Stop looking at the 1 week. Stop looking at the 1 day. Instead, look at how far we've come on a month. We need cool-off periods for us to then continue trekking up. Remember, there's a lot of people sidelined. You and I have some exposure to XRP, and I know some people in the comments were asking me how much XRP do I hold. I'll be showing a dedicated video on what my position is, where it's at, and why I continue to build it out day after day after day. But right now, we're sitting at $3.09 per XRP coin. We're up substantially 40% in the last month, and then in the last year, we're actually up 401% from the 49 cents where we were at last July. So things are looking good as altcoin season begins to heat up. But remember, don't only look at XRP's price action. The rest of the market is correcting. XRP is not doing anything strange. Yes, maybe a little bit of red on the 1 week and maybe a little bit of red on the 24 hours, but it's not something we should be worried about. I'm here to make sure everybody understands that. But here's the thing that people are seeing and worried about. XRP drops 14% after $175 million moved to an exchange by Ripple co-founder wallet. Why does this even matter? In hindsight, no one's going to care. This guy, Ripple executive chairman, very much known for his selling, Mr. Chris Larsen, let him do what he wants. He's been holding for a long time since the company went public on the crypto market. Let him take profits whenever he sees fit. But understand that the vision is still long-term. The transactions occurred shortly after XRP touched $3.60, its highest level since 2021, before pulling back to nearly $3. So a wallet attributed to Larsen moved 50 million XRP with $140 million sent to exchanges, suggesting potential liquidation. And this could be liquidation, it could be staking, we don't know for sure. And XRP's price dropped. But the fact is, when Larsen or anybody else, if it's Garlinghouse, anyone moves substantial amount of XRP to centralized exchanges, people tend to panic, and that needs to stop within the XRP army and XRP community. Elon Musk sells billions of dollars of his shares of Tesla when he sees fits. Jeff Bezos sells billions of dollars of his Amazon stock. That's what these founders have to do over time, to take a little bit of profit, because if you look at it overall from their entire position, it's not actually that much. So for those of you that are looking to start maybe buying XRP or looking at getting into cryptocurrencies as soon as they launch, one way to do so, of course, is DFlow, one of the partners of the channel. Trade stocks, shares, and over 6 million cryptocurrencies on their exchange. There's a link down in the description below. It's a pretty cool platform, very nice dashboard overall. You can see some of the high risk investings. If you're a futures trader, I'm personally not. I only believe in spot. The first super exchange, simplified, real-time tracking, very nice, not much requirements, no KYC, lowest fees, and of course, it is an audited exchange. So I would consider looking into DFlow, see what you think of it as a place to potentially build out a position in whatever cryptocurrency you want, including XRP is one of the things that they have in their offerings. Now, something that came in from Watcher Guru that I want you guys all to pay attention to, because this is actually very much massive. JP Morgan says crypto stablecoins will be integrated within the traditional financial system, as well as more tokenization of real world assets. Remember what it is that XRP is doing. With Ripple Labs and XRP, we are considered a real world asset, trying to integrate into the central banking system, into the SWIFT system for cross-border payments to then allow this specific cryptocurrency like XRP to be utilized as the token for the SWIFT system or cross-border payments, the movement of transactions, especially substantial transactions, which it's already doing. And I know there are some countries and continents discussing CBDCs. Of course, in the US, we're not worried about that because there's an anti-CBDC narrative that Trump is pushing, as well as his cabinet and governing body. But the fact that JP Morgan, one of the biggest anti-crypto centralized banks, is now switching to saying stablecoins will be integrated within the traditional financial system. That means XRP will be also integrated within the traditional finance system. And then XRP will be, from where it's at now, has parabolic potential in terms of price. And that's why I continue to say, stop thinking in the $5 or $10 range, $20 range as your exits. Dollar cost average out if you feel fits, especially if you're in since 30 or 40 cents, because I'm not here to tell you to hold forever. Take profits if you need to take care of yourself, take care of your family, but holding long-term is always going to be a benefit, especially for something that is looking to change financial system, the traditional financial system, which has to change in the near term, especially for something that's deflationary and not inflationary like fiat currency. Now, the thing that I talked about at the beginning of the video is all eyes on the Rex Osprey ETF approval. Price immediately to $6 after, so a 2x. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is to reveal the decision of the Rex Osprey ETF. We have anywhere between the next hour or two for the ETF news. This could become the first XRP ETF cleared for trading by the SEC after a similar Solana ETF was already approved by Rex Osprey recently. XRP could recover and rally up to $6 immediately after this ETF approval. Of course, we're trading, if it's approved, we need to know what date we're expecting it to go live on as an exchange traded fund. So Rex Osprey ETF approval deadline looms. It says here, the approval could fundamentally shift XRP demand from institutional investors, and demand for XRP can be evident from multiple issuers filing for XRP ETF, notably Grayscale, Bitwise, Canary, 21 Shares, so BlackRock, WisdomTree, CoinShares, Franklin filed for spot XRP ETFs with the SEC earlier in 2025. Excuse me. You guys know me. I'm not someone, alhamdulillah. But you guys know me. I'm not someone who likes to take multiple takes or edited videos because I always like to be concise and clear. So if you hear a sneeze here and there, just smash the like button and wish me the best. However, the SEC delayed its decision to seek more time for approval. The crypto community anticipated approval for Rex Osprey after the SEC approved the Rex Osprey Solana staking ETF or SSK in early July. So right now the question is, will we see this by the end of market or before market close today? It's very much on the table, but make sure you're prepared, guys. Stop worrying about all the individuals trying to fudge you out of your positions, trying to create panic just because there's some profit taking going on. That's the one thing I'll never shame anybody about on this channel. Even though for me, I am a very long-term holder. Sometimes you can call me a delusional bull, but if you're someone that needs to take profits, do so. Do so responsibly. But remember that this is a multi-billion-dollar coin. And if you believe in it long-term, always keep some exposure in the market. Just because you think you could sell high and buy low, you never know how low or how high it can go. Because right now there's people who are like, oh, XRP is going below $1. That's when I'm going to buy back in. Well, guess what? Now those individuals are sidelined. They're looking at it as like, man, please now just fall below $3 so I can get in. It might not ever get back below $3.10, $3.08 where it's at today. And we could see a new all-time high as soon as this XRP ETF is approved for Rex Osprey. So guys, again, I'm always here to share my sentiment, share what I believe the market's going to do, where it's headed. And sometimes I've been right, sometimes I've been wrong. That's the truth. I'm not someone who is some kind of fortune teller or someone who can tell the future. But at the very least, I can make predictions based off of past events and historical trends. That's the best way we can assess any markets and market cycles. So right now we're preparing for the majority of new liquidity to enter the market Q4 of 2025 going into 2026. Rate cuts are expected Q4 of 2025 and continue into 2026. While we're in a quantitative easing type environment when it comes to the economy, usually we see risk on assets take on more liquidity and more interest, especially things like crypto and the stock market alike. With that being said, with the amount of money that Donald Trump is bringing into the United States, the amount of money that he's allowing, opening a $9 trillion market to the retirement folks, opening up $2,000 investment accounts for everyone born in the US after he was put into office, we're talking a lot of fresh cash coming in from the federal government that's going to fund this next wave of excitement for retail demand. So again, I appreciate you guys' support as always, but that's all I had for you today. On your way out, it would mean the world to me if you can consider subscribing. And until next time, as always, keep investing. Peace.